Welcome in, handstanders, to episode 4 of the Handstand Pug podcast. These are your hosts, Handstand Pug Bentley and Bean. I'm just their dad and translator. So today we're talking about how our pugs are like a cat and our cat is like a pug. So for those of you that don't know, we have a cat. His name is Sabo. He's the cousin of Bean and Bentley, but he lives here, so he's their brother. But for those of you that have pugs, you'll notice they have a lot of similar traits to cats. So for example, both of the pugs have some weird variations of snoring. You might have just heard our cat Sabo hunting back there. But a lot of weird variations of snoring, and one of them sounds a lot like purring. Bean particularly does it. So Bean and Sabo sound very similar when they purr. We'll let you guys listen to that. And then a way Sabo, our cat, is like the pugs is, one, he knows how to sit. He's really well trained, so he'll sit before a meal and things like that.
Sabo, sit. Sit. Good boy.
And two, he likes to play fetch. So he won't return it, but he will chase after it, which is actually exactly how Bentley plays fetch. He will run after it if Bean does, but he doesn't really bring it back. Bean does play traditional fetch, but so Sabo knows how to sit, and he will fetch. And they actually all really get along, At first, because Sabo, when he was first adopted, had really only been around 3-4 people, period, in his life, and really never around dogs. But they've gotten really used to each other, really comfortable. We'll find Sabo sleeping in the pug's bed. We'll find the pug sleeping in Sabo's bed. They'll lay on, the normal bed together on the couches, and they get along really well. They're still figuring out how to play, because sometimes I will throw a toy and both him and Bean will run after it. But Bean, like any dog, plays more aggressive than Sabo's really used to. One of the funny things he does is when he's up high and he's in a playful mood and one of the pugs run by, he'll swat at them. And, Bean, Bentley, they don't really know how to react. But they get along really well. No one's aggressive towards each other. They coexist really well. And hopefully one day they can, play fetch, play even a little bit more. Sabo also, kind of abnormally for a cat, really likes affection. So he loves cuddles, he loves scratches. And for those of you that have pugs are the most affectionate dog breed, I would say, in the entire world. Sabo also likes to, exactly like Bentley, chew on fingers. If I give him my finger, either of them, either Bentley or Sabo, while they're in a playful mood, they'll grab it with their paws, they'll nibble on it, they'll chew on it. Never hard, of course, but almost like a pacifier. Another fun thing that the pugs have been doing lately, which you might have seen our post on YouTube about it, but we've been filling up the kiddie pool just a little bit, just so the pugs have the option to go in there if they get hot. And Bentley's been taken up on it. It's really, really cute. It's a pretty high jump for Bentley, and it's plasticky, so sometimes he'll jump or put his paws and his weight on it, and he kind of squishes around in there because it's not fully filled with air. It's really cute, but he can jump in and out, and he has been, and he'll just kind of walk around in there. Doesn't really lay or sit down, just kind of walks around and enjoys, I think, cooling off. It's really cute. It's really fun. So we encourage you guys at home, get a kiddie pool. Just fill it up a little bit, see if they use it. And if anything, I think it helps get them desensitized to water. If your dog hates bath time, I think it's just kind of a good way to show that water isn't necessarily a bad thing if they're not used to it. And to wrap up today, the pugs are going to get some carrots while we answer a couple viewer questions. So always remember, leave some viewer questions in the comments below, and we'll answer a couple of the best ones in the next episode. So one of the questions we got, which is pretty common, is how old are the pugs? So shockingly, Bean is the older pug. Comment below if you would have assumed that. A lot of people assume Bentley is older. Only by a few months, but Bean turns 5 in October, Bentley turns 5 in January. So both of them are almost 5 years old. And another, wasn't a question, but kind of interesting, talking about our last podcast where we talked about Bentley and his handstands. But someone brought up the idea of if Bentley will continue to handstand as he gets older, you know, because of things like joints and stuff. And our answer is, we don't know. We hope so. We just always think, you know, especially as a pug owner in general, there goes Bentley. He dropped his carrot. He's getting it. But as a pug owner in general, pugs are so prone to health conditions where it's your job to keep them as healthy as possible. So same goes for prolonging Bentley's handstands. You know, of course, we don't force him to. He always does it on his own, like we talked about last episode. But it's just, you know, trying to keep his joints healthy so he can do it as long as he wants to, or he feels comfortable doing it. So that just means keeping him at a relatively healthy body weight. It's, you know, easier said than done with pugs. Keeping him active, which we do. We do 2 walks a day. And adding in some, you know, additional supplements, fish oil supplements, variety of food like you probably see on the channel. And just keeping these boys healthy and hopefully not taking them to the hospital. Hopefully not spending thousands of dollars like we have. Right, Bean? Yeah, Bean knows. But that's about it for this episode. Bentley's getting some water. I think they're ready for their lunch break. But leave some viewer questions in the comments down below. We'll answer some of the best in our next podcast episode. Make sure to like the video, click to the left to subscribe, and click to the right to watch another pug video. Thanks.